I've been on a recent kick of rewatching some of my favorite movies from my childhood. From Atlantis to Treasure Planet to Brother Bear, I've really been enjoying getting to bask in the nostalgia and rich storytelling that largely shaped my formative years. But after I finished rewatching Brother Bear, I suddenly had a core memory unlocked. A simple memory of a young screen stories anxiously awaiting his first preschool show and tell. And the toy that I brought in to show everyone was this stuffed animal of this sort of humanoid bear from a Disney movie. Ironically enough, my mom even has a picture of me holding said bear on the side of her fridge to this very day. But for the life of me, I couldn't remember what the name of the movie was. I remember loving it and that it was one of my favorite movies when I was about 6 years old, but I just couldn't put my finger on the name. So I immediately started Google searching Disney movies about bears, and of course all that popped up initially was Brother Bear and Winnie the Pooh. But after a ton of scrolling and refining my searches, I finally found it. A core memory from my adolescence, The Country Bears. A forgotten movie that helped define my childhood. As soon as I rediscovered this lost piece of my memory, I had to rewatch the movie, because I genuinely remembered almost nothing about the Country Bears. And my god, this movie did not disappoint. The Country Bears is kind of an acid trip of a film, and is simply the type of movie that doesn't get made nowadays. Think of the movie Cats, but if the songs were better and there was at least a somewhat coherent plot to the movie. There is a level of uncanny valley to the bears with just how ridiculous they look, especially in comparison to their human counterparts in the real life sets and locations. But this movie is also just goofy in a fun way. Right from the opening scene, we've got bears doing backflips, bears flying on stage, bears crowd surfing. This movie knows it's not fine cinema, or anything even rivaling a quote-unquote good movie, which in my opinion is its superpower. The main character's name is literally Barry Barrington, because, well, you know, he's a bear. I mean, when his name got dropped for the first time in this movie, I was damn near in stitches from crying laughing. It is ridiculously dumb, but in an extremely comical way that I'm choosing to believe is self-aware. Christopher Walken plays our lead villain here, an evil banker who wants to tear down Country Bear Hall. And if you haven't seen this movie in quite a while, such as myself going into my most recent viewing, you likely have forgotten why Mr. Walken has beef with the Country Bears. Like, why is he so determined to tear down this random building? Well, and I'm not joking here, this is the actual reason that was actually filmed and put into the movie. His armpit farting act wasn't quite good enough to win a talent show. Yes, this banker entered a talent show decades ago, I might add, expecting to win by offering a sweet rendition of classical music via armpit farting. But he was of course outclassed by literal talking bears who can sing and dance, and lost brutally, tragically ending his hopes of ever becoming a world-famous armpit farter. Now, I know you might be thinking, this sounds like it could be the dumbest plot point in the history of plot points. And you are correct, this is fucking stupid, but also kind of iconic. I mean, I want you to imagine for a moment that you're a scriptwriter for Disney. There's this popular exhibit at Disney World called the Country Bear Jamboree, and some Disney execs want you to write a movie starring these animatronic bears. Now, this is going to be a daunting task since these bears are literally just animatronics and have no lore whatsoever, but would you in a million years ever come up with an evil banker who armpit farts classical music to be your lead villain? If you're not actively tripping on acid, the answer to that question is hell no. So I just want us to all revel in the fact that we not only get to live in a timeline where this movie exists, but that the green light was given to Christopher Walken armpit farting. It's simply perfect. To be quite frank, after watching this movie again, I have a lot of questions for my younger self, including but not limited to, why did I never try to make it as a professional armpit farter? How could I forget such an acid trip of a movie? How did my show and tell end up going at preschool? I mean, did they like my country bear stuffed animal or not? However, one question that I do not have is why I loved this movie so much. I feel like The Country Bears is made for two very niche audiences. One of those being kids in the age range of 4 to 8 years old who simply don't know any better than to accept this ludicrous premise. And the latter being adults who would never try acid for health reasons of course, but secretly want to know what the experience would be like. The Country Bears is as close as you're going to get without trying the real thing, folks. I say that as someone who has never done acid, but I also say that with complete and utter confidence. All things considered, is The Country Bears a secret gem of a film from my childhood like Brother Bear or Atlantis? No, it just flat out isn't. There's nothing all that redeemable about this movie or its plot if we're going to be lame and objectively critique it based on film quality. But despite being a film critic to an extent, I'm also not fucking lame, and I had a lot of fun watching The Country Bears. It's like a 3 out of 10 movie, but 3 out of 10 movies can still be fun to watch, goddammit. For example, 2001: A Space Odyssey is obviously objectively a better movie than The Country Bears, by a country mile. But is it more entertaining? Is it more enjoyable? Would I rather rewatch it? Fuck no. And that's really all that needs to be said about The Country Bears. I'm so glad that I finally remembered and got to relive this part of my childhood. And even though this is certainly a bad movie, it is also one that I will always cherish. If you've never seen Country Bears or simply haven't in a long ass time, you need to watch it. Either it's gonna snag the crown on your worst movies of all time list, or you're going to ironically enjoy it and have a grand old time experiencing a sober acid trip. Well, if you made it this far, I'd love to hear your thoughts on The Country Bears. Do you love the film like I do, or do you think it's a muddled mess and a slog to get through? Also, please let me know what forgotten movies from the past helped define your childhood. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.